they revealed the Halo. That was a trailer of the Halo campaign, and then of course they had the a little tidbit of the Halo multiplayer
Did you see like the extended versions of all that stuff? I don't know if you
of the
saw
Halo.
it. Halo and Battlefield.
There's extended versions.
There's a developer sat down and talked to answer questions for like 30 minutes.
Ooh.
No, you have to watch that. That's pretty good.
Well, because I know that Xbox, I can't remember what they're like, they work for Xbox and whatnot, and then that's where I found out like a bunch of stuff about Battlefield where we can play with AI bots now if we want to just mess around and like test weapons out and stuff like that.
And that's involved in Halo too. They have a thing to set up. It's like a Spartan school. It's called Spartan Academy.
That's cool.
And so people who are new to the game can figure out features in the game, and we'll get into it. But everybody, welcome to the Video Games and Nonsense podcast for what day it is? June 15th, 2021. I'm one of your hosts, Chase Carter. That's
Raymond Woods.
This is where we talk about video games and nonsense and what we've been playing. So Ray, what have you been playing lately?
Just a couple. I don't necessarily like it. But a little bit of Warzone here with Ricky and Dylan, and then a little bit of Apex. But Apex actually this was for this season. The Apex got the 3v3, so it's not a BR, which is actually pretty good. Because Rogue Company is like that. It's like a 4v4.
Yeah.
And I really like Rogue Company. But a little bit of Battlefield here and there.
Okay.
But there is actually this one game that I did want to talk about. It's coming out on the 25th. It's called Scarlet Nexus. It's kind of like an anime game, but it's a JRPG, and it's really cool. So the story of it, it's third person, and you get these these. Well, I'll explain that. But it's in the far, far future, and humanity has found this extra hormone in the brain, which allows us to use like telekinetic and psychokinetic. I think that's what it is. Psychokinetic abilities like telekinesis and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden this alien race falls down on Earth. They're called the Others, or the Other, specifically.
It's called Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah, and it seems like there's a demo out for it. I played it a little bit. I didn't want to play too much of it.
Ruin it.
But there's two different characters. There's a male and a female, and each male or female, depending on who you choose. Because I know that the male, he's more of a close range. He has a sword, kind of close range combat, and then the female, she has like these daggers that she throws out. So she's more of a mid range, I guess you could say, combat. But apparently, the campaigns and your abilities for each character are significantly different, which I thought was very cool because you never really see that in a game where you have two different. But yeah, the game, it's super cool. Like there's a bunch of different abilities that you get, a bunch of different, bunch of cool little things that you can do, and it's really neat.
The game, yeah, the pictures. Judging by the pictures that I saw on Google Images, I didn't. But this actually looks interesting.
Yeah, it's more of an animated anime feel, like that kind of. And then because a game like this, like it's a more linear. It's not really open world. And I was like, this. I was like skeptical at first. I was like, it's probably gonna be like 15, 20 hours. I looked it up. Apparently, it's like 40 to 50 hours. I was like, what?
Sometimes I don't know. I've been thinking about the length of games lately, and do they need to be that long? Do they, like, if we got shorter games, would we get more games, kind of thing?
But I mean, as you can see right here, like the combat it's really cool. Like you could literally pick up anything. It kind of has like with the telekinesis, it kind of has a little bit of feeling with control. I mean, obviously not like Control, because you can literally pick up everything in Control. Everything and anything, just about. In this, you can't. It's not everything that you can pick up, but
yeah, I really like Control because I've told you this before, but like say all of that stuff in the game world you couldn't interact with until you got the telekinesis ability. Then you could grab anything you wanted in the environment, and so that changed how you looked at your surroundings.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy when games do that. They take, you just think the environment is part of the world, but then you're supposed to interact with it, and that's what Corey was doing. We were playing Halo 2, the remastered version, and she was in that old game. She's played Sea of Thieves. She's played multiple games.
Yeah.
But just the interaction with like the explosive coils, like just bumping into them. She likes bumping into them and moving them around, or like boxes.
Yeah.
Interacting with them, or this rock. She was like, "Hey, I can move this rock off this ledge," and she would just like kind of bump into and she's like, "Oh, that's so cool to watch it fall." And so there's things about that old ass game that aren't in like games today, and so that's what I really liked about the Battlefield trailer. And the gameplay was when that tornado hit,
dude.
It picked up everything in the actual world.
Yeah.
It didn't spawn like
random
random shit that looks like it's in the world. It actually took the things off the ground, spun them around, and
dude, when he jumped off the building and like they went, he opened with the wing glider, and he started going, and then that music. Dun, 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 dun. Like, dude, I was like, so cool. And there's people parachuting around, and I'm just like, and then the whole
thing looked amazing. The whole thing
the little tick thing, the little whatever, the vehicle in the gameplay trailer.
The little tick thing.
Yeah, the little vehicle that was getting sucked into. That's real. That's a real thing. That's gonna be in the game.
The little taxi cab or whatever.
Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah, because they showed it in because everything they showed, I think it's like with I think their trailers, everything that they showed.
Yeah, right. With only a few games do that.
But it's cool is because it hints at gameplay features in the game.
Yeah.
So when they had like we were watching it and it shows like what is that blue rope for? Why is that standing out? Well, that's the grappling hook specialist or whatever. And then so. When I watched the interview that you didn't see because you're not a true Battlefield fan, and I saw it first, they said that all of the support like the recon thing is still there, but underneath that is a branch of those specialists. So so there's recon specialists, there's I guess medic specialists, and then there like all of those things I guess still exist in the game, but they're just underneath. And then you can have what they found. They said. Is that if it was a tank map, everyone would play one certain class because that was the anti-tank.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were like, well, how do we kind of counter that? Because we would only see one type of, if it's a small close quarters map, we started seeing the medic more.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So they wanted it to be equal. Like,
they wanted to negate that. Yeah.
Yes, they didn't like that. So like that's what the specialist comes in. So there is no, or they based their, I guess loadout or the person they chose based off of the primary weapon.
Yeah.
If they like sniping, they'd pick recon, all that stuff.
So now that you don't have to do that, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I'm
So
like,
okay. Cool.
So
and then
cool.
They admitted they were showing the scene in the elevator where they switched out, like they were going close quarters, and then they were like, oh, they said it feels like something that felt like it was already in the game, and then the guy next to him, the other developer was like. And technically, it should have been in the game. Like we should have put this in a long time ago. He's like, I don't know why we didn't like. If you go into a different scenario or the level, say on breakthrough, you go to the next area and it's a close quarters area. You had to die. You had to respawn, change your loadout, and then go back in. He's like, you shouldn't do. You should just be able to change your weapon on the fly or change the modifications on your weapon to make it either. I was like, that is so.
And it's funny because
cool.
Crysis has that system where you just look at your gun and you switch. And I'm just sitting, I'm like, now I understand that's a first-person shooter, but I don't understand why. Like as the developer said.
You mean a single player?
Single player.
Okay.
It's first-person shooter, single player. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Like the developer said, I don't understand why other multiplayer games haven't adapted that. And Battlefield, of course, is the first one to do it.
I don't know if it's something they just like. If it's for
balancing issues, I don't know.
But
But it
even
makes
that, but even then, it shouldn't be balancing issues. Like if those modifications are unbalanced, then you need to balance the modifications and not.
But then again, if you think about it for Battlefield, it makes more sense for Battlefield for DICE to adapt that for Battlefield because for Battlefield, not all Battlefield is really the only multiplayer first-person shooter that has these huge maps, and then you have these buildings where you go into the small, and then it turns into a small map, small corridors. So it makes more sense for you to be able to swap it on the fly. Call of Duty, I mean, yeah, they have like Ground War where there's bigger maps, but their buildings aren't. I don't know. It's definitely different. And then of course Call of Duty is a lot faster movement. It's a lot faster. You move into a building, kill, and then move out. Like Battlefield, you walk in and it's definitely. And most people who play multiplayer Call of Duty, the maps are normal size. They're medium. So you don't have that need of needing to. Oh, I need a long range weapon here. Oh, I need
Yeah.
So so it makes sense for Battlefield to do that because especially with 128 players. I thought it was only 120. When I heard 128, I was like,
Yo,
"What?
how much? How much?
What do you
Why is
mean?"
it so much?
No, that's fine.
You can have as many. They can have as many as they want. But
But
it looked really, really good. I was really surprised. And then the turret specialization character, he's some Russian
yeah.
guy. I forget his name. But you have to be near the turret.
Okay.
Like you can't just set it. You can't set it and then go real far away. And then the turret will automatically pick up targets, or you can manually fire it. Bullets don't hurt it a lot, but EMP blasts and explosions do.
Oh.
So one of the recon guys, they have a drone and it shoots.
Yeah, that's right. EMPs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, to counter it. The developers were talking about that, and I was like, so I wonder what other kind of rock paper scissors.
Yeah, I know because I know they have that the medic chick where she has that dart where you can fucking heal and revive people from a distance. I was like, oh my god, yes, that's really cool.
So then if she picks you up, like just revives you normally, you get full health, and then if your teammates do that, then you obviously don't get full health. That's like more of a benefit for her. I was like, be so cool. Like now we're gonna get sniper medics and assault medics, and more people are gonna be able to revive you.
Yeah,
and so that's
more
medics.
I love how they said that you call in tanks and vehicles from a tablet.
Yes.
What does that mean? Does that mean a tablet on your arm, like in game, and you just?
I think they showed a guy holding a tablet, like pinpointing it. So I'm guessing you get the map on there, or it's just on my location. But I don't know. I don't know if you would want it to pinpoint it. But but is it like your the squad leader?
Yeah, I know.
Have to do it. You know what I mean?
And then it costs
points because you don't want people just dropping in tanks. Like
I don't know. I know unwilling. Obviously, DICE is really good at balancing.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how that's going to be.
So they'll do it. They'll make it. But then also apparently, you can while the tanks are coming in, you can actually drop them on people and they'll die. But you can also shoot the tanks as they're coming in and damage them. So that's kind of interesting.
You can shoot the tanks as they come in.
So what that means is that's cool though, because that means you can't just I can just drop it anywhere. I can just drop it right in on someone. You're like, because I understand why they do that because then people could just drop it in the middle of a battlefield and then here comes a tank, and as the tank's landing, like then you're just fucked. But if you can shoot, so you actually have to think. You actually have to think about where you're going to drop it. Like, okay, hey, I'm going to drop this tank behind this building over here. And dude, the gameplay when it came down, the fucking jets slowed it down, and then I'm just like,
I'm gonna just.
And they didn't even really show too much destruction, which I'm getting the feeling they're going to have a gameplay separate for that, for the destruction itself.
But that's true. They didn't really show. That'd be so funny if they don't have destruction. Just pisses everybody off.
Yeah.
We actually liked what Call of Duty was doing, and then their whole fan base turns against them. What are you talking about?
Dude, no, that would not be. It wouldn't be Battlefield. It would be large-scale Call of Duty. That's literally what it would be. And then, like I sent you that text, that rocket that shoots up that map. Yeah, that can fail sometimes and then blow up.
Yeah, so I wonder if everyone around it dies.
Probably. I mean,
That's
I
what
would
I'm
imagine.
like. So exactly, like how I don't. Oh, there were so many good. I don't know, like reveals at games that I'm actually interested in. There was
Yeah.
that one game called like Replaced. I want to look. I don't know if you E3.
No, I know there was one game called Contraband. People were saying that that's going to be really good. Starfield, which is people were saying was going to be really good.
Well, do you know what Contraband is about?
No.
Because did you watch the trailer? It showed
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It didn't really. Yeah, I was just like.
And that's another thing. I don't understand. And Redfall did the same thing. That vampire game
Yeah, that's
from
right. Yeah,
Avalanche. What is the so your first you spend millions of dollars
yeah,
on a game and you release a like a cinematic or
cinematic
cinematic trailer of a game,
that
but
tells nothing.
you don't explain what the game is. I want a developer up there, someone who worked on the game, that's explaining what the game is. This is a.
Is it a third person? Is it a first person? Is it an RPG? Is it a fucking turn-based? What is it?
Can we see some gameplay first? Cinematic trailers are for products we already know about.
That I know are coming.
Yeah, if we know, like, if Halo comes in and like shows us a cinematic trailer,
We already know what. We know what to expect.
We already know what it is. But your
Battlefield.
So your first thing should be this is going to be this, and then show a little bit. Maybe gameplay's not even remotely close to being ready. Then don't show anything about the game yet.
Just show the title, Redfall.
Just show like something, and then have a developer. This is a third person, open world, or character based, whatever shooter.
Something.
Some kind of description. And then Contraband did the same thing. It looked like a drug cartel kind of game. And then what? Oh, you're blurry again. You're blurry. Just so you know, you don't want, even though you're ugly. There you go. There you go, brother. It's weird. It's real clear. Sometimes I don't know if it does it for you, but anyways. Contraband, I guess, I heard that it's Sea of Thieves meets Grand Theft Auto, which means that you have a vehicle and you have to get treasure or loot, whatever, from one place to another.
Yeah.
It's in an open world. People and other players are in that world doing missions as well. This is what I've been saying. I was like, I don't know why people don't copy like Sea of Thieves and just make it real world kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I think this game is doing. And so I'm like, okay, that's in 4 years when this game comes out.
I know people. I was like reading the comments, dude. I tell you, people complain about anything, man. People complain. Like people were complaining, Battlefield doesn't have a campaign. Dealbreaker for me. Okay, I can understand people being like a little disappointed, like, oh damn, that sucks. There's not a campaign, but a Dealbreaker? What do you mean? Why are you only playing the game for? It's a multiplayer focused game. Hello? Like, what do you like? If you want to play a single player campaign, go play Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, no one even finishes. Like, no one finishes.
It's such a small percentage of people.
So I don't understand. These people are brain dead. These people are morons. Like, what do you people like? Hello, Dealbreaker? You're not gonna buy the game because it doesn't have a 6-hour campaign? No.
And all of the single player campaigns in the game were repurposed multiplayer maps anyway.
Yeah.
So they could have a story later, like as DLC or whatever, using the maps. Like, it's not hard for them to do. Like, and I don't play Battlefield for the single player aspect of it.
I know. And then this one guy, he was like, I didn't play Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 5 because he said because the multiplayer wasn't up to stuff and all this, and I'm like, well, with this next Battlefield. But he was upset because there's no campaign. I said, well, you understand that you're contradicting yourself, right? He's like, what are you talking about? I said, because now that there's no campaign, because I was Level Cap Gaming on YouTube, he was talking to me. He said that it's actually more expensive to make a campaign than it is for multiplayer for developers.
Yeah, because
And
you have to create a story, you have to hire writers, you have to make
all that, yeah,
cutscenes, you have to do all that
yep,
shit.
all the cinematic cutscenes. And I told him, I said, so if the multiplayer experience for you in the past Battlefields hasn't been enough or good enough for you, this one will be, because all that money that was going towards a campaign is going towards multiplayer. He was like, no, no, no. I'm like, so you're just an idiot. Okay, no, you're not
But
even.
yeah, they're focusing more on it. Everyone is on and focusing on the multiplayer of the game. So
And all that money that would have gone towards the campaign is going towards multiplayer, which I am so happy about.
yeah, they said
Yes.
there's more people working on this one.
Yeah, there's like 3 different studios, like the DICE in LA, DICE somewhere else, and then like Criterion.
Yeah, which I'm
And
like,
then apparently a couple of ex developers from Call of Duty has came over and been hired on and at DICE and are working on this next Battlefield.
yeah, I wonder if we're gonna see, because a lot of the movement in the game, like, it was real quick, and like they had like a little like SMG kind of gun, and it was real quick, kind of like Call of Duty in close quarters. So I
Well,
wonder
yeah,
if it's gonna have, because the gunplay does feel like real smooth in Call of Duty. So I'm
yeah,
wondering if they're gonna like not put it that way, but maybe
but
close
make it
quarters.
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I don't know if you noticed in the gameplay reveal, it looks like there's a regular sprint, and then it looks like there's also a tactical sprint where you run faster, which I'm all for. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. That's fine. Copy. It's okay for people to take things,
That
little
work.
things. Yeah. Like for instance, there's this anime game called Genshin Impact. It is basically Breath of the Wild, and I don't care. I'm fine. It's fine. It's yes, yes, yes.
more Breath of the Wild games.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I love that. I love that. But uh, but yeah. So I'm because the tactical sprint in Call of Duty is really nice because you have that real quick burst of speed, and then there's the regular that I really enjoy. I really enjoy that, especially in Battlefield, because
Yeah.
you have these huge open maps. But yeah, so and then July 22nd is when we get more. And look, you know what? Okay, this is another reason why I love DICE. This is exactly why DICE
You okay?
is, for me at least, my favorite gaming company, is because one, in their gameplay in their reveal trailers, just the cinematic ones, they hint at things that are actually in the game. Then a few days later, they show actual gameplay. First they'll give you a date when they give you dates. Okay,
Yeah,
they say,
to look
hey,
forward to. Yeah, when
yeah,
the game is neat. It's not like 5 years ago they were like, "Hey, Battlefield 2042
yeah,
is
no,
coming
no,
out," and then you don't hear
this
anything
year,
for years.
this year,
Yeah,
this year, they're like, hey, this Battlefield 2042 is coming out this year.
yeah.
Oh, okay, and then they give us, dude, with the first game or with the first reveal trailer, they gave us the date of when the game's coming out, October 22nd. Like we don't even know when Halo's coming out. We don't have a
That's
set
what's
date.
weird. That's weird. That's
Yeah,
really weird.
that makes me a little.
They gave us a date on Starfield.
Yeah,
Which is
11/11, which was really cool. Did you see the trailer for it? And
the
it said
launch. Yeah,
3, 2. I was like,
Dun, dun,
okay,
and all that.
whoever thought of that, give them a raise.
It's so cinematic and beautiful. The tone of that game, if that game is anything like that trailer, like the tone of the game,
I'm playing it forever.
I'm losing it. They said it was, which is kind of, I don't know, not disappointed me, but they said it was what was it? Like, what is the game? And they said it was Skyrim in space.
Okay.
So what I don't want, though, because Skyrim is one big area.
Yeah. So if it's just one planet and you can't go to like other.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, so, and then I don't want it to go like, oh, where do you want to go? I want to go to this coordinate. I don't want the space travel to be like Jedi Fallen Order, where it's like a map comes up, you pick a planet, and then you just warp there.
I want to actually fly there.
Yeah, so like playing No Man's Sky and getting in your ship and just going up and out into space, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Once you do that, there's no other space game. Now, if you want to, okay, so say, I guess a workaround would be you have your planet, and then you have, like, you go up into outer space, and then there's an area where you can't go anymore. And then you can look at other coordinates and then go. But I want to be able to go on the planet and go out into outer space, and then that's what I want.
And then go to other,
Yeah. So say if there's like a space station around a planet, I can just get in my spaceship, go up there. Oh, that'd be so cool.
But yeah, and then Battlefield. But yeah, like I said, DICE, and then obviously they listen to their community. They actually change shit when their community says, hey, no, this is it. Well, like I said, it seems to me that DICE actually plays their game. They actually play the game like, hey, okay, this is what it seems like. Like you said, they realize that that when it comes to maps that are more vehicle oriented, people pick assault so they can counter and they realize that, they see that. Then they because look, it's funny because me, Dylan, Ricky, and our buddy Fire were playing Battlefield. It was like 11, 12 at night. And we were on Wake Island, and there's a good amount of tanks there. And I was medic, and Dylan was support. And all four of us were like, okay, we're switching to assault.
Yeah, so there is no... The game forces you to pick a certain class. And that's like, it shouldn't be. You should be able to be... If you want to be a medic and heal people, if you like that gameplay, you should be able to do that while having some kind of ability to attack a tanks. And I'm not talking about a smoke bomb or all of that stuff. It should be, or a little like grenade thing that you have to hit 5 times in order to kill a tank, because you should be able to do more damage to it. But I understand there being a class that's more deadly. I get that aspect of it, but the other classes are so much weaker when there's vehicles around. And then the other classes just have to hide, or they have to go inside a building. And then in Battlefield, it doesn't matter that you're inside a building, because you can just tear it down, which is fascinating. So now we're going to have snipers that can take out tanks.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yes. Sniping up on a fucking get at your rock launcher. You're like, yes, please, fucking finally, man.
More, please. I want you to type in E3 and then replaced. I want you to watch this trailer so you can hear the sound, because the audio is really, really good.
E3 replace.
And then let me know. It's the trailer's like 1:51.
Yeah, I see it.
Well, I didn't know what you saw. Let me know when you're going to click on it.
All right, go ahead.
3, 2, 1, play.
I think we played it at the exact same time. We did.
But just watch this game seems interesting. I don't know if it's something that you're not going to think that I would like. But just it looks so creepy and cool. I heard this is all pixel art, like how old games
I'm okay with it. I'm definitely okay with it.
It looks gorgeous. Creepy. How cool that looks.
Yeah.
How fucking cool that looks.
The music. Wow.
Like there's no excuse.
Pixelated, but it's 3-dimensional, or side scroll with 3-dimensional pixelated.
Yeah, but it's pixelated just for the art.
Yeah.
Like it's an art style. It's not.
Oh.
There's no excuse to not make a good game.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. It's so simple. It's so dumb, dude. It's so simple. I love it. Yeah, I'm all for it.
I'm buying it.
Day one.
Please, and it's like a side-scrolling pixel art 2D game, and it just looks so good. I was like, who are these people that made this game?
Yeah.
I don't get it. And then, did you see the Avatar trailer?
Yeah, that looks. But then, of course, we got to talk about Jurassic World Evolution 2.
What? Well, they didn't really show a lot of it unless you saw something that I didn't see.
No, but I'm just saying,
They just
it's finally it's announced. And well, no, they did show. What do you mean? They did show.
They didn't show any
There's
gameplay. They just showed
no.
like that cinematic.
We know now there's going to be flying dinosaurs and then sea creatures, like we were talking about. What, 2 weeks ago?
Well, yeah, because I told you the modded community made all that shit. They took out actual dinosaurs in the game, and then someone created the character art for like the fucking crocodile dinosaur or whatever the fuck it is, and then put it in the game. And then what people would do, like it would swim around on land. So what people would do is they would make a habitat and then just put water all in it, and then it would be basically walking around like under like a little thing of water. That's what it would be doing. So you would actually see it. Like people made that in the game. So the creators of the game are basically just taking what the modders did and putting it in the sequel.
They're just like,
Okay. So 1 or 2 million people want this game this way. Okay, cool, got it. But the game looks. I don't know what they're going to do because we already went to all the islands.
Yeah,
we already rebuilt everything. So what? And they said like the dinosaurs are out in the world. So are we making more Are there going to be? Is there going to be a park like in California? Is there going to be a park in like Asia?
I don't know.
Is there going to be all these? They're not on islands anymore. They're all over the place. Like what is the story? Are they just going to be like zoos? Is this going to be a dinosaur zoo tycoon? Like,
but then
I don't know.
And then Halo.
Oh, Halo! I wanted to show you this video of Halo, and also the Guardians of the Galaxy game looked good too. But
I didn't even see that.
That was good. That was good. Let me see here. Let me make this like this, and then I'll screen share this bad boy with you.
What was that?
I keep hearing squeaking in the background. Yeah, fuck.
No, it's not squeak. It's just my shit's on.
Your shit's on. So this, I want to show you. So like, they have so much in this game now.
Yeah.
You can put. I want to find out where it is, but in the Warthog, they have it to where.
So this is basically multiple. Okay, so like they have what they would say VDOC or whatever.
Yeah. But like they have like the samurai warrior outfit and like these different cosmetics. So this academy right here is for people like Corey who haven't played the game really. See multiplayer. They have a designer just for the academy.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's different training areas. They put you in different scenarios.
Oh wow! So
and then you put bots in there, and you can put them in. They're moving.
Train.
So,
you just train.
Yeah, you can train. So if you have a problem with moving targets, you go in there and you do it, and you don't have to die online over and over and over and over and over again. And then there was this one thing I saw that is genius. It's very interesting. There's this special warthog. I think it's near the end, if I remember correctly. There's this whole game just looks good. I don't know why. If it actually, and the grapple hook is a pickup you get.
Oh, so it is a pickup.
Yeah, well, at least in multiplayer it is. I don't know about in single player. And then the shield.
Yeah, where he deflected that energy shot back.
Yeah, but you get like how you get the overshield and you just walk over it and you pick it up.
Yeah.
Well, now it's a piece of it's a piece of tech. So you pick it up and then you can deploy it whenever you want.
Oh, okay, that's really cool.
But then say if you die with it, you drop it and someone else can pick it up. It's the same thing. It's all that stuff that's brought. They have like a screenshot of it. I forget where.
I really wish they would bring back dual wielding. Man, I don't know why
I think that they are playing that in Halo 2 is awesome.
I know that. Like that's why I really wish they would do that. I don't know. I haven't seen any gameplay of it.
Yeah, so you see, like obviously you can take the grapple hook and
that's really cool.
bring this stuff towards you. There was something I saw. Where is this son of a bitch thing? Like the gravity hammers, obviously, but just being able to like grab the ceiling, and then these pickups right here, like these. I think this is where they show it. Like you can drop the shield in the little corridor.
Yeah.
But this is, where is it exactly? I don't know what that was. How we just basically launched up into the air. That where he put Tony Stark puts it in his chest and then walks around with it. And then obviously if you die, they pick it up. I wanted to show you that. And then there was something with like, the Warthog. So see this Warthog? It lost its wheel.
Oh, wow. So you can actually do that.
Yeah, so there's different destruction on each vehicle now, which will affect its handling and
that's really cool. I like
blah,
that.
Blah, blah. And then there was this kind of Warthog right here. I think this is the Warthog. You can put shit on the Warthog and carry it. So if you have equipment, so if you have multiple pieces of equipment, and they said you can do that with the flag. You can put the flag there. Yeah, so you don't have to. So it's basically like a troop transport vehicle. And I was just if they have a mode where it's like PvP versus PvP,
PvPvE.
Yeah, PvPvE. I always have a hard time saying that. That's because I know they had it with like the big large in one of the, I can't remember which Halo it was. I think I played.
I think it was 4.
Yeah, they would have bosses in the map that would count for you. I like that because people who weren't as good fighting other people would have something to do in the game. And I always enjoyed that, in especially with Battlefield, where you have a support class, and that's why I want to get Battlefield for Corey. And so if she wants to hop in and then play like a support medic role or something along those lines, I think that would be, I don't know, it would be cool to show her a different type of game.
Yeah. Well, of course. And then what's actually funny too is our buddy Fire. He's never really played Battlefield. He said he said he's heard of it, but he's never played any of them. So he jumped in with Battlefield. Yeah, no. But he said he jumped in and he was definitely he's not used to the destruction. And I have to tell him, like, he has to remind, he's like, yeah, dude, he's like, I have to remember that there's like, if I'm in front of a wall, behind a wall, it can be destroyed.
Yeah, because it changes it, like just having that, it changes how you look at the entire world around you.
Yeah, and it was so cool because we were playing the game type Breakthrough, me, Dylan, and Fire. We were playing that, and then we were on this one. It's like a desert map, but it's more close quarters. I was a medic, and we were pushing through. We got to the second to the last objective, and we were in this building. And Dylan, I was literally watching stairs. Dylan was sniping, I think. No, he was support. Excuse me. I'm just watching the stairs, and people would come up, and they just kill him. And it was so cool. Just come up and just kill him. And then Dylan kept killing. Dylan kept getting kills. And eventually, people they found out. The other team started communicating. Hey, there's fucking motherfuckers in that building right there. So one wall came out.
I love that. I love those moments where you have like a little area to yourself, and you get like 1 or 2 people, and you're like, oh, you're feeling pretty good. You get like 3 or 4 or 5 more, and then all of a sudden you see just basically like everyone in that area just turn kind of, just and that's what
rockets.
Yeah, so cool about that game. Like I think anyone who's played that Battlefield over the course of time, like what it's like to be in the top of a building and then just have everything just
collapse.
You think, you're like, okay, all I have to do is worry about the stairs. If you play Call of Duty, all I have to do is worry about this. Nothing else can hurt me. And then just a wall disappears. RPG hits you and then you fall out, like you get knocked out of a window and then you're outside on the ground.
Yeah, that's what happened to Dylan too. Is we were on the second story,
I love those moments.
And I'm looking down and like one wall disappeared, and then someone had shot and destroyed the floor on the second floor, and Dylan fell and he died. And I was like, fuck! I had to run over, jump down, revive him, go back up the stairs, and we still had. It was funny because we still had this where the stairs where you come up the stairs. There was still a wall there, but over here there was nothing, and there was no flooring. It was just completely. The whole side of the building was completely taken out.
Gone.
Yeah, and then kept telling Fire, I was like, they can still destroy this wall. They can still destroy this wall. And, I kept staying up there. We were getting kills. A couple of blueberries were there with us. And then eventually one section of that wall that we had went. I was like, fuck, they're starting to take it out. And then, they realized that we were still up there. And then they, so. And that's just how it is.
That's how it is. But, like those moments in that game, like I'm not a huge multiplayer gamer. But like those games, for some reason, because you can obviously run in like solo run and gun, but like just the fact that when you play as a team, like you play for like how we normally play, like when we get on, we'll play as a team for like 10, 20 minutes, and then we'll kind of go do our own thing for a little bit, and then go and get beat, and then we go back to
and then we come back. We're like, all right, let's hang out.
Let's stick together. I was like, Ray, I'll follow you, or I'll follow Dylan. Let's all kind of stick together.
Or then we'll all get into a tank, and then that's another thing too. When you can literally stay in a tank the entire game, and it changes everything. You're slower. You have to worry about repairing. You have to worry about your surroundings, and then when you're in the
gameplay mechanics,
yeah, and I'm just like.
And then they made that more, I guess, like each seat in the tanks and in the vehicles play a bigger role, they said. And now I don't know if that is BS or if that is just them, talking about it. I wonder what about each seat.
Well, no, what it is, and they're making it a little bit more realistic. So like that, I can't remember what the name of it. It's that big fucking transport helicopter in the beginning where we saw flying next to the sandstorm when it was turning. Because there's like 8 seats. They said that it makes the vehicle, the more people that are in it, makes the vehicle more efficient.
What is that? I don't, unless they explain what each seat does, I don't know what that means.
Well, it's probably just
like you won't have flares unless someone is sitting in the flare gun seat. Like I don't know, what does that mean?
That would be insane.
Yeah, like what exactly is it? And then if I'm in there,
I'm guessing they're being vague on purpose.
yeah, they're not going to tell us everything about the game, but I'm just curious. They're like, each seat makes the vehicles more efficient, and so I'm thinking like, okay, so is there a repair seat where someone's just in there repairing, and then if you're the pilot and I'm in there with you, can I press A and then switch to the repair seat, repair, and then switch to the gunner seat, gun, and then if we're getting fire, homing missiles or what, because there's going to be homing missiles in the game because it's 2042. Am I going to switch to the flare seat and then deploy the flares?
The player of the Floyd.
The player of the Floyds.
And I said it again, and I kept saying, I was like, no, wait, what am I trying to say?
Well, the way you say it now is how my brain thinks it's correct. Deploy the Floyds. I'm like, when I say deploy the flares, that sounds incorrect in my head.
So funny.
So
but you know what? Okay, so one thing, and this was one of the things. Okay, have you seen the movie Fury?
But the Brad Pitt?
Yeah, with Brad Pitt, Michael Pena, and
have you seen Battlefield, or is this something else?
Yes, it has to do with Battlefield.
I'm confused.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah,
it's okay if you haven't.
No, it's with
John Bernthal, Michael Pena.
Yeah, it has the
Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
They're in the they're the tank crew. There's a scene in that movie where they're in that town, and there's a snipe. They're like asking the old man, like, hey, where are the Germans? And he points, and he gets sniped in the head. And it's and then so what because Brad Pitt, he's a TC, he's the tank commander, and he's on the 50 cal, and he starts shooting. He sees where the sniper was, and he starts shooting, lighting that point up, and he tells the gunner in the tank, he says, right on my fire. That's where he is, right on my fire. I started doing that in Battlefield, and it helped. It literally worked. I'm not kidding. I'm not fucking kidding. I was in a tank. I was in the front gunner, like where you're in the tank, and I see a guy, and I'm shooting him, but he's in like a bush or whatever, or behind a building or behind a wall, and Dylan's like focused, and I'm like, Dylan, there's a guy right on my burst, and I'm shooting, and he'll turn and shoot right there and get the kill. I'm like, oh, so cool.
That game
so cool.
That game is pretty cool. It comes out in October?
October 22nd.
Yes. So hopefully there's no issues with the game.
Hold on one second. I'll be right
There's
back.
gonna be.
Just because there's a package that was delivered to me from Amazon, and it's
Ew.
avocado oil, and I don't want it to be on the sun right now, or the heat.
Avocado oil.
Yeah, because I was because I know it's basically it's really good for you. I know because avocados are really good. I was watching this one.
Is that what
I got
you think?
I got a liter of it, and it was only like $11 for avocado oils. Like, because I know avocados are. I mean, they're not that expensive, but whatever. Okay, sorry.
Have you seen the concept art for Starfield?
No, I haven't seen that. Like I said, it was just the trailer that I saw.
Okay, I'll show you because I don't know why, but this concept art is getting me excited about the game. But like,
Oh wow.
there's.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can actually zoom in here.
You have so many tabs open.
Don't worry about it.
It's probably why Horizon Zero Dawn didn't work.
Oh, I hate you.
So you bought the game?
Yeah, I bought it. So like this jungle world. Now this is just concept art, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious. This looks like a Star Wars.
Yeah.
Interstellar, awesome thing. This is another town. So but I don't see any aliens. These are all human based. That's what I'm wondering because there's no. I see. Well,
is it all the same planet?
These look like aliens, don't they?
I mean, maybe.
Those are like crabs, animals. I don't know what it is. There's Elon Musk's fucking ship. But like this is like look at this huge ass city, and then this is supposed to be you and your spaceship.
So I'm like, man, 2022.
Is that what it's supposed to be like? And it's next gen only.
So, well, yeah. If they're still having fucking 2022, if they're still having fucking next gen games for the previous generation, okay, no, okay, y'all need to stop. All right.
For like a year or two at when.
That's okay, but you need to start making them just for.
Okay. We understand. Otherwise, there's no reason. My new console is going to be old by the time the new games come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Jesus Christ.
You're going to be working on the next, like the iteration, the Xbox Series X Plus.
But you know what's funny though is I heard a lot of people didn't like E3. They were saying that Xbox saved E3. I was like, wait, what?
But like Nintendo, did? I heard Nintendo had Metroid, Breath of the Wild 2.
Hold on a minute. Hold on.
You didn't hear about Metroid?
No, I know there's another Metroid, but I didn't know Nintendo showed it off.
Hold on a second.
I didn't.
Wait a second. Hold on. I know you're gonna get started.
I'm guessing probably 2022, or probably even later. Actually, probably 2023, because they restarted. There's Retro Studios, I think, that because they had one company or one development team that was doing it, but then they're like, look, you basically said you're not doing what we want, so they took the project away from them and gave it back to Retro Studios, which I'm pretty sure is the one. Retro Studios is the studio that made the other Metroids, which is fine with me.
Here,
because all three of those other Metroid games got like 9.5s. Where's the sound, Chase?
I can't show you the sound because we're in the other thing. But this
is not the next one. No.
This is the Metroid Dread gameplay presentation.
No. This is another side scroller, which is I'm really happy about. That's really cool. But no, there's one that's coming out for the Switch. That's first person. It's Metroid Prime 4.
Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah. But this, I'm gonna watch this later.
I was excited about this.
No, that obviously any Metroid game that comes out, yes.
Prime 4?
E3 2021.
Yeah, Metroid Dread Prime 4 Nintendo. Oh, they showed this 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know about that. It's currently in development.
People freaked out.
Okay, so they just announced. So it was just a splash screen or whatever. They didn't show anything?
No.
Okay.
They literally just. It's really cool though because like the fans they showed like the S for like for Samus and shit, and like people immediately knew. They were like, oh my god, and then that's really cool.
Yeah.
Fucking
Like,
greatest idea you could ever do. Hey, why
So
don't we
are
team up with Disney and do Pirates of the Caribbean?
So are you excited now? Are you hopping back in?
Well, yeah. Obviously, it's that like that's obviously cool. Like I still think Sea Thieves is a cool game.
I heard there's going to be, so what all this is, there's going to be, you know how they have the tall tales in the game?
Yeah.
Those missions? There's going to be 5 new ones, and the Sea of Thieves lore ties in with the pirates, the actual pirates lore.
Pirates
So
of the Caribbean.
yeah, so it's all canon, I guess. So, and then, so all of this stuff won't be, I don't know, this is what it is. You're going to go through like a portal, like the dead, you know how when you die, you go to the dead man's ferry? Yeah. It's going to be like that. So a portal opens up and you can go into the Sea of the Damned where all the souls are kept. And because Jack Sparrow doesn't want to die. He wants to live forever. So there's some maybe like eternal life thing or whatever. And he actually, you actually get on, he's on your ship. And so it's like, I don't know if he fires with you or whatever, but I heard like you sail the seas with Jack Sparrow. So it's like, if he's on your ship, I'm like, so I'm wondering if there's going to be these little hub worlds that you go into. You go through a portal because they show, I don't know where, I forget where it is, but there's like this huge rock.
I saw it. Yeah, it's like a huge rock portal.
Yeah, so exactly what it looks like. And then there's going to be merfolk. There's going to like these mermaids.
Yeah.
They didn't show them. Then that one. Because once I saw this, I was like, they're ripping off Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm like, what are they doing? Why are they doing? And then I was like, wait a minute. And then this thing, look at this. So you know how Disney has the flag at the top of the castle?
Yeah.
That's what this is, basically. And that's what this is. This is like Snow White's castle.
Yeah.
In Disneyland. That's exactly what it is. So like there are all of these like images. But there's so many different things like hidden in this trailer. It's insane. Oh, here it is right here. This thing. So I think you go through there, you get transported to the whatever, Sea of the Damned, and then the whole Jack Sparrow, that's where you have to go find him or whatever. But then there's going to be other shit that like they're these creatures.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And they're on your ship.
Yeah.
The skeletons never got on your ship. So does this mean that you're going to be sailing around and then some fucking, I don't know, lobster creature is going to, yeah. So you're actually going to have to defend your ship, which is awesome. And then of course the Flying Dutchman finally is going to come up out of the ocean.
Yeah. Davy Jones.
And but this is kind of like when I saw this, like these like you're carrying treasure. So I'm wondering, is there going to be treasure that is
like
going to need
huge?
Is going to be need to carry by 2 people? Because looks like a normal sized chest, but that could just be me looking into, reading into things. But there's this underground. All of the characters come from underground anyway.
Yeah,
like the skeletons do. So that's nothing new. But it looks like they're going to be more vicious. And then this whirlpool hits, and then this giant mermaid. Yeah, so this is a giant mermaid statue. And then this is the release the Kraken.
Yeah, that's right.
So is this going to be the same Kraken that just has arms, or is it going to be a full Kraken? I don't know. And then look, these are ghost like how they have the ghost ships. There's ghost characters.
And then a new weapon?
Yeah, you get this trident wand thing. I don't know what it is. Because I remember...
That's your character.
Yeah, the old man. Pretty much identical. Because in one of the pirate movies, you get the trident of Poseidon. Because I just finished watching that with Corey, so she's fucking nerding out about this game.
I know, it's funny how you guys are watching all those movies and then this comes out. That's
her favorite game. Real
interesting. Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah, I was like, there's a really good pirate. Jesus,
Thank you.
There's a really good pirate game that is out, so it made sense. The developers said when they talked to Disney, they did like a 45-minute pitch.
Yeah.
And I guess Disney thought, well, instead of us making a pirate game, why not just team up with the pirate game that's already out? Like pretty much the best and only pirate game that's here. And so I guess that's what they did. But like these all look different. because we have ghost ships in the game, but now the Davy Jones ship
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
teamed up with all of them. So I'm wondering, and then how much? Because I know these are all cinematic cutscenes, but I wonder exactly like are in the game there's no cinematic cutscenes.
Mm-hmm.
You just go to somebody, you get a
You just
quest,
talk to him, yeah.
they talk to you. There's not anyone running around, doing all of this cool cinematic stuff. So I don't think obviously all of that's going to be in the game. Here's like our characters playing Davy Jones's like
Wait, what
organ.
is
That's Davy
what?
Jones's organ, remember?
Oh,
Or
yeah,
this,
yeah.
yeah,
No, the yeah, that, but then, wow, man, that's gonna be cool.
yeah. So all of these cool things are going to be in the like, and then this is
But,
Jack Sparrow's fucking
yeah,
skull.
his
So does he
little.
turn into a skeleton? Does he
But
die and turn
what
into?
is that? Now that I look at it, what is it? It says E3 2021 trailers, and then it shows Breath of the Wild, but it doesn't say like it's number 2.
So is it a teaser trailer?
It's what it says right there, chasing the title.
Is it just a teaser trailer? Am I going to get some kind of could you do that in the first one?
No.
You're really high up on that one. Game looks gorgeous. Yes, it does. Okay. This is more than the teaser trailer. Black and white? What does that mean?
He has a gauntlet. What is happening? What is that?
He just teleported through solid rock. Oh, destruction. Battlefield! Okay, apparently Ultron's in the game, lifting cities. He just didn't like he didn't like living on the ground. He wanted
On the
to
ground of Hyrule.
He's like, oh, this is segregate. That's segregation. You can't. You have to be down here with the rest of us.
Jesus Christ.
2022 looks good. All of these games look really good. I know that's not like a surprise, and that's what another thing. I don't understand why people were like disappointed. Some people were.
Well, okay, that's what I was gonna get. That's what I wanted to get into real quick.
I didn't understand that.
What I was reading, apparently, the main reason why people were disappointed is because they were pushing a lot of this woke shit. There's a lot of things like pushing, LGBT and transgenderism and all this shit. And people are like, and like politics and all this gender politics, gender identity politics, whatever. People are like,
I just watched the trailers. I didn't see anything in the trailers that had like.
no, I know, but
the
actual E3, I guess that's what people were saying. I mean, that's at least what I was reading in like most of the comments of the videos. Like I was going to the comment section for, I can't remember what video I was watching. There was a couple of videos, and then people were just like, E3 sucked. They were like, Xbox and Bethesda saved E3. E3 sucked because, they're pushing this woke identity politics and all this bullshit. I'm like,
I'd have to see what they were talking about exactly if to be, because I saw zero. I watched the trailers. I watched Dev Diaries. No one, I didn't even think I heard the word gay or transgender or anything like that.
Well, I know. I don't mean, they clearly are talking about something, because people aren't just making it up. Like,
well,
hey, it's a.
People do make up stuff to complain about. They see a gay character in a game and then go, "Why is it?" I'm like, people can be gay in the game. It all depends on if they do it good or not. If it's for the purpose of the game. Now, like, there are gay people in real life, so it's okay for there to be gay characters in games. It's fine.
And of course, it's it's. And then so a little just before I go, there was I have a just it was on Facebook. One of my she wasn't my team leader, but she was a team leader. She was an E5, but she was gay. Obviously, that's whatever. That's not a problem. But she posted this video on Facebook, and it was like a TikTok, and the guy, he was in his car, and he was looking at the camera, and then he had like a text above his head. It said, it was like, it said, gay people get an entire month or it said gay people get an entire month, but veterans only get one day. and then but apparently I think like the month of May is like dedicated to veterans or whatnot.
Yeah.
But then so
and I hate that compare to anything. I hate that compare that. Oh, they get all this. So what does the month even mean? What does it mean? Like, what does Black History Month mean exactly? I don't understand what it means. There's no Jewish History Month. There's no Asian History Month. There's not. I understand where it comes from. Like, it's from a good-hearted nature, but people like hold on to it, and then like they say what you say, like, oh, they just get like a Memorial Day and a Memorial Weekend, and then that's it. They don't get anything else. I'm like, who says you get like who says what thing gets a month or what doesn't? It's not like all of May I'm studying Black history. Like, it doesn't.
Well, no, but what the problem was is there is a guy responded to his video, because in TikTok you can make a video, you can show like a video and then have your response.
Okay.
And the dude he was explaining, he's like, but then he starts insulting this guy, calls him a fucking idiot, and saying he's pushing hate out and homophobia, and I'm like, what are you talking about? All he's saying is there's a full that gay people get a full month for celebrating them, and then veterans, and he's like, you would know that, you would, if you were a true supporter of our veterans, you would know that the month of May is for veterans. And I'm like, motherfucker, I didn't even know that. The reason why most people don't know that, most civilians don't know that, is because it's not pushed like everywhere in the month of June. Everywhere you look, Pride Month, everywhere.
Yeah.
And like most people don't care. And then so I commented, I said, he's completely wrong. Like, what do you mean? Like, this is not like him insulting him, and he's lying. He's spreading homophobia and spreading all this hate. I'm like, no, he's just and I asked her, I said, please give me very specific things that he said that are hateful and homophobic. She goes, it doesn't matter what he said, it's how he said it and what he said. What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
I love when you get in these little confrontations.
But it's just idiots. And it just goes to show that you can't say anything.
Oh no, you can't. You can't.
Anything.
No. Yeah. There's Ricky Gervais. He has a joke about Caitlyn Jenner, and then he was talking about like, well, that's transphobic. He's like, no. I'm making fun of Caitlyn Jenner and the fact that she got into a car, and when she was bruised, she got into a car and killed 2 people. That's a joke about her killing people, not about.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with her being transgender. Nothing to do. I did not say anything about her being trans.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not transphobic. But people say that. So if I criticize, like, if you criticize a white person, it's majority of people will be like, hey, like, they won't say anything racist about it. But if you criticize any other minority, because it's like
it's racist.
The power discrepancy, the perceived power discrepancy, like, it's not just because like you can be an asshole. You can just be, you can be an Asian and be an asshole. You can be Mexican and be an asshole. If I say, hey, you fucking asshole, I'm not being racist. It's just.
That's nothing. Dude, did you hear about that killer who I think he killed 2 people and like injured 14? He was a black dude out in Texas, but the Texas newspaper or whatever didn't want to report that he was black because they didn't want to cater to the stereotypes. They didn't give a description of the man. That's what.
But it's real weird. Unless a black person is a victim, they won't put it,
of course,
in the title. So if it's just, it's like a man kills 4 people, blah blah blah. But when it's a white man kills. So it's real weird. I'm seeing, like, I do see, but it depends on who's writing the article, because they all have a slant. But it's real. It's interesting. And then I'm seeing a lot of people that I like to listen to on politics, and they get into sports. And this is from where I criticize. It's like Ben Shapiro talked about LeBron James leaving a game. He left his team was getting blown out. Mm-hmm. And because LeBron James has said stuff political, and they know that if they put LeBron James in the title of a YouTube video, they're going to...
Well, yeah, of course. Because especially there's a lot of people who don't like LeBron James because he went political. So I get it.
Just completely and just leans a certain way, and then doesn't even mention anything about China.
You're just like...
That's a whole other issue that just like, oh, you hypocrite, you just care about
You
your
really
own.
don't see the
You-
bleeding
No,
hypocrisy.
he has to. He's not like he comes off as far as basketball knowledge. He comes off as very smart and intelligent, but then in other aspects, like he doesn't seem.
He just says shit. He
Yeah,
just
like
says things.
yeah, but it's just kind of weird. Like whatever the kind of the wave, the momentum is going towards, like the social wave
Yeah.
is going. He'll ride that wave along with it. But Ben Shapiro was talking about LeBron James leaves the game 5 minutes early, and he's like, it just shows what kind of person. I'm like, no. Ben,
Yeah,
this is sports. This is not a.
You don't know.
You're losing credibility here. Just a
Yeah.
little bit. Quiet, Ben. Quiet. You don't know exactly.
You're really
what
smart
talking about
in
here.
most areas, but when it comes to
Yeah, I was
sports,
like,
just don't.
You just want to make a LeBron James story. Yes, he left the game early, and it looked really bad, and he left to go get treatment or whatever. But I'm like, he left 5 minutes early. I don't think 5 minutes of game time, which is like 20 minutes, or
It doesn't show your
15.
character. It's not no.
Yeah, like you, his teammates. If his teammates don't have a problem with it, and his teammates don't because he's one of the best players in the world, so that team is not going to win. He's the boss basically.
Yeah.
So they're not going to have an issue with it. Like I would have an issue. Like I'm more of a you stay there until the buzzer sounds, you shake everybody's hand, and then you leave. But some people, like all those guys are friends and they text each other. So if you see two teams that just turn away and then walk off the court, that doesn't mean that they don't like each other, or that just means they want to get off the court, they want to go back, get all that shit off, and then they'll be like, hey, good game. They could text each other late. That doesn't mean that there's like negative, consequences or whatever to it. But if I was LeBron's teammate and he was playing with us, and then he got us into this, like he was one of the reasons we got into this hole, like, a deficit, and then he just bounces, I'd be like, I got to sit here on this bench, but you get to leave? I was like, huh? Hey, does your treatment, like, they said he needed treatment. And I'm like, did you get injured? It's 15, you leaving 15 minutes early, does that help your recovery for the next game? I don't. But it was just weird, like the Ben Shapiro thing. I'm like, and I saw other people who talk about sports and politics. They were criticizing LeBron James about this. And I'm like, if his owners don't have a problem with it, if his coach doesn't have a problem with it, if his teammates don't have a problem with it, it's not an issue. It's not an issue.
Maybe he had to take shit.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he had explosive diarrhea and he had to shit himself.
He's like,
but
guys, I'm gonna okay. But then there's one last point that I want to because I sent you a video on it. You can watch it later. But Tim Pool, obviously I know you know Tim Pool. He made a video. I think it came out if I'm correct, it came out today. But he was talking about there's a Walgreens down in San Francisco, I think it was, and this dude. So okay, and these are democratic policies that has been pushed. That is the reason why this is happening. In San Francisco, if you steal something, but it's not like if it doesn't surpass like $950, the police can't do anything about it, or they won't do anything about it. So apparently Tim Pool. I didn't know this. Tim Pool was saying that when that policy was first pushed, there were people. I think it was one of the Walgreens. There's someone new started there, and they were. You can watch the video, but they asked, it was a customer. People were coming in, literally grabbing things off the shelf, and then another customer was like, "Are you guys charging for these things?" And the cashier was like, he asked like the cashier, and his cashier's like, and people are just stealing shit. They're literally stealing things because, and I'm like, apparently, Tim Pool said in his video, 17 Walgreens had to shut down. If I'm not mistaken, it's been in. I think it's all in San Francisco. I'm not sure if he meant other places because I was watching it just a little bit because his videos are really long and I can never watch that much of just him talk. He doesn't even play videos. He just sits there and talks. I love Tim Pool, but that I could watch the first few minutes and then that's it. I'm like, okay, I don't need to. Anyways, but yeah, when I heard that, I was like,
well, that's weird. So I can see in like times of crisis if like there's like the riots going on and the police like don't call us unless they're stealing like all of your shit. Like I can see that in times of emergency, someone stealing $500 worth of stuff is not that big of a deal. But when things aren't going, we need, if I steal anything, like, and also people like they have like Target, Walmart, they have their own security teams. who surveil and do all that stuff. So like if they're not doing anything, like if they don't care enough about it, like so like the police are just like, and then the police get called for that, and then they handle somebody a certain way, say something the wrong way, and then they're fired.
They're racist. They're racist.
They lose their pension and all that stuff. So like I
get why they're not doing it.
I don't blame the police for going,
whatever.
This is your store. This is your store. You complain about us, how we handle things as society goes. And I'm like, and they're like 99.9% of the interaction with police are justifiable. I would say a higher number than that and completely okay. And they were talking about, I heard a police officer talk about he interacted with some guy with a knife, some guy on meth. And he ended up shooting him 8 to 11 times in the chest. And the guy kept going forward at him. And I'm like, what?
Well, I'm sorry. What did you just say?
So when so I'm like, huh? They're like, it's like they go, and then like when they get shot and they're on the ground, when they lay down, something with the blood pressure goes up, so they get like a little jolt because the heart doesn't have to, it's not working against gravity, so you're laid horizontal, so it's easier to pump. So when it's weaker, you lay down, and that's why when people lay down, they faint. So then that blood gets back to your brain, and then I guess that's one of the reasons for it. But they're able to still, there's like multiple incidences where the victim that's been shot, the guy, the perpetrator, he gets shot and he's on the ground and he still gets shots off. Like he gets this, like he wakes back up. And that's why they shoot sometimes when people are on the ground still, to make sure that they're dead. There's all these reasons. And like that we're not cops, we see them and we go, man, that was kind of violent. What it takes, I don't blame the people who have this like, visceral reaction to violence but you have to look at it from the cop's perspective. What is he dealing with every day? What are the incidences where cops have been murdered because of criminals, doing all this stuff? And
of course you also have to say, what is the media not showing me? Because there's something they're not showing you. Always. Like there's this one weird. There's this one kid. There was a video cam. I'll say this last bit, and then I'll head out.
No, you're supposed to leave a while ago. You're gonna be late.
There's this one kid. I can't remember his name, but he was in the distance, and you couldn't really see. I think it was like under a tree, but they shot him, and people were like up in uproar. And then they released a video. They're like, no, he pulled out a gun, and then they zoom in. You can see the kid, and his back's facing the camera. You see he pulls out a gun, and you can see it right there. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. Of course.
There's all
but everyone ignores it. That to me is crazy. Everyone ignores that the evidence that's pushed out. They ignore it. They don't care. They're like, whatever, doesn't matter. Like, so are they supposed to let him shoot him? Oh well, okay, go ahead. Like, what do you? I don't know.
It's real weird, because obviously I'm not used to people like shooting other people. So when I see someone get shot, I'm always like, did you have to shoot the person 4 or 5 times? But then I hear the story, well, I shot this guy 12 times. And he kept coming forward. I was like, okay, then shoot them, because I would rather the
police officer to stay alive.
Yeah, to stay alive than a criminal.
Yeah.
And then there was one guy. I guess he got a huge settlement because the guy that the female thought it was a taser. That stupid idiot.
Yeah, she was a veteran, man. That was a huge. Yeah, but you know what's really dumb is she knew she made a mistake. She turned in a resignation to the mayor. Mayor declined it. So nope. Like, so you just want to punish this woman just because? That's all you want to do? You just want to be an evil motherfucker? Like, are you kidding me?
Her resignation doesn't really matter. That doesn't. I don't know if she resigns, she still gets her pension. I don't know if that's what she was trying to do.
No, but I don't. She realized she made a mistake. She's like, fuck. So she's like, I'm just gonna quit. I'm like, when you
accidentally shoot somebody and it's headline news all over the. You're gonna.
But honestly, like it's sad, but it's okay because he's a scumbag motherfucker. He had warrants out for his arrest. I don't care. Oh my god.
Did you hear about the family that I guess he allegedly shot someone in the head and that they're a vegetable?
Of course.
So so that family, now that his family has a whole bunch of money because of the settlement, that family is suing his family for damages. So I'm just like this. I'm like, this is an insane world that we live in.
But dude, and then like with like BLM, I gotta say that kind of quickly. But you know, like with BLM, dude, like that whole shit is falling apart. Like Patrice Colores, she resigned because she was.
I can't see you. I can't see you. If people
she,
watch this,
she resigned because she was caught. She has like 4 different properties that equal like $3.2 million, and they're like it's a Marxist group. Like they push Marxism.
yeah,
But
and that's not Marxism.
Yeah,
That's not Marxism. That's not Marxism.
and they don't know where she got the money. They have no idea where she got the money.
They know exactly where like.
No, I know we do, but from her regular job.
Yeah, there are lower. I heard sections of BLM that actually work in like black communities that want to help them out, but then there's
I hope so.
But then there's like the big like corporate BLM that gets all the money.
Yeah.
But then I guess the smaller the smaller people, they don't see that money. And so they're the ones that are starting to say, where's all this money going? Blah, 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 blah. And then one of the co-founders has like 5 houses that are worth $1 million. And you're like, oh, that's where all the money's going. Okay,
so
cool.
You're basically corrupt.
Yeah, which is fine. Go get your money. Go get it. Go get it. However you want to do it. That's fine. Go get your money.
No, not when your organization is pushing all cops are ACAB.
But they don't believe, like, so if they don't if they're called out on their own shit, like if people actually live in that kind of society with no police, no protection,
I know
all that stuff, there's a reason we have that. It's not some made up, system where it's it's a social construct. That's all it is a power grab. No, we need that. Otherwise it'll be complete chaos.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Go to work.
Trust me, I know. But that's what makes their money, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's a business, and that's all it is. It's a business. It's a money-making business. Anyway, this has been another edition of the Video Games and Nonsense podcast. I'm Chase Carter. That's
Raymond Woods.
And we appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you next week. Don't ever. You're not supposed to salute indoors.
I remember